The world isn't falling apart. Your perception of it is being harvested. Every time you scroll through a headline that makes your heart race, you aren't getting informed. You're being hijacked. You are trading your internal sanctuary for a front row seat to a chaos you cannot control. It is time to stop letting the noise of the world drown out the music of your soul. We live in an age where the news has rebranded itself as a civic duty. We are told that to be a good citizen, we must be a hyper-informed one. We must know about the tragedy in the Far East, the scandal in the Capitol, the fluctuating numbers on a glowing board, and the impending doom of a dozen different systems. We carry a 24-hour cycle of global trauma in our pockets and wonder why we wake up with a clenching in our chests. We wonder why we are irritable with our children, distant from our partners, and unable to sit in 10 minutes of silence without reaching for a hit of digital adrenaline. If you've felt your peace slipping away, join us here. Subscribe to The Spoken Soul and let's reclaim the territory of your mind together. Now, let's go deeper. The truth that the conglomerates won't tell you is that your outrage is their currency. Your fear is their product. When you are at peace, you are unprofitable. When you are calm, centered, and sovereign, you are difficult to manipulate. But when you are fearful, when you believe the world is a dark, jagged place, on the brink of collapse, you become a frantic consumer. You look for safety in their updates. You look for validation in their narratives. You have surrendered the throne of your own consciousness to editors and algorithms who do not know your name and do not care about your heart. Think about the architecture of a news story. It is designed to trigger your ancient reptilian-brained part of you that scans the horizon for predators. But in the modern world, the predator is a 15-word headline, written by a 24-year-old in a cubicle whose only goal is a click. You are giving your limited emotional energy to events you have zero agency over. You are mourning for people you will never meet and fearing outcomes that haven't happened. All while the real life in front of you, the sun hitting your floor, the breath in your lungs, the person across the table goes unnoticed. This is intellectual poverty at its peak, being full of global data, but empty of local presence. The mature soul understands the difference between being aware and being saturated. Awareness is a tool. Saturation is a slow-acting poison. When you saturate your mind with a noise, you create an internal environment of perpetual emergency. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a war 10,000 miles away and a threat in your backyard. It responds the same way. Cortisol, adrenaline, tension. You are keeping your body in a combat state while sitting on a comfortable couch. Over years, this doesn't just ruin your peace. It rewrites your biology. It makes you a person of reaction rather than a person of intention. Wisdom teaches us that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your attention. If you feed your attention to the fire of the world's chaos, you will become the ash. But if you guard your attention, if you treat it as the most sacred resource you own, Yuki, remain a cooling spring, even in the middle of a desert. The world has always been chaotic. There have always been wars, rumors of wars, and shifts in the wind. The difference is that our ancestors only knew about the fire in their own village. Today, we are forced to feel the heat of every fire on the planet. This is not a call to ignorance. It is a call to sovereign selection. It is a call to realize that your peace is the only thing you actually own. The news wants you to believe that caring is the same as consuming. It isn't. You can care about humanity and still refuse to let the curated tragedies of the day dictate your mood. You can be a person of compassion without being a person of anxiety. True power is the ability to walk through a storm and remain dry. It is the ability to hear the noise and remain in the silence. Imagine if you took the energy you spend on staying informed and funneled it into staying transformed. If you spent an hour in prayer, meditation, or creation, For every hour you spend consuming headlines, you would be unrecognizable in 6 months. You would be a source of stability for everyone around you. You would be the one person in the room who isn't shaking when the screen turns red. That is the ultimate rebellion in 2026. To be at peace when the world is being paid to be panicked. We must stop treating our minds like trash cans for the world's trauma. Your mind is a temple. Every headline you allow in is an invited guest. Ask yourself, does this guest bring clarity? Does this guest bring a solution? Or does this guest only bring a heavy bag of rocks for me to carry? If it doesn't serve your growth or your ability to help your immediate community, it is just vibration. And too much vibration eventually shatters the glass. The gray area we discussed before is fueled by this constant stream of noise. It numbs us because we cannot possibly process the volume of grief being pushed at us. So, the soul shuts down. It goes gray to protect itself. To bring the color back, you must close the door. You must regain the right to not know. There is a profound freedom in saying, I do want to have an opinion on that because I am busy tending to my own soul and my own family. That isn't selfishness. It is stewardship. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot lead others to peace if you have never visited that country yourself. Your peace is not a luxury. It is your primary responsibility. The world will continue to spin. The headlines will continue to scream. And the experts will continue to predict the end. Let them. Your job is to be the eye of the hurricane. Go out today and reclaim your vision. Look at the trees, look at the sky, and look at the people you love. That is the real news. That is the only report that matters for your soul. Stop being a spectator of the chaos and start being the architect of your own tranquility. The screen is an illusion. The peace in your heart is the only truth that will sustain you. Stay sovereign, stay soulful, and keep your peace at any cost. The Spoken Soul.